Hey y'all, happy holiday season. With the holidays right around the corner, I thought this would be the perfect time to do a little refresher on cocktail party etiquette. Obviously, you want to use these guidelines year round, but it's always good around the holidays, especially when we're going to be going to a lot more parties than usual, to get a little refresher. One thing that I want to make perfectly clear is that seeking to educate yourself on proper etiquette, on dressing classy, presenting yourself the way you want to present yourself is not about putting on airs. It is not about trying to be somebody you are not. It's simply growing and evolving along the continuum to being the best version of yourself. Just as our mom and dad teaches us to say please and thank you, this is just an extension of that. Learning basic proper etiquette, how to present yourself in a certain way, how to dress tastefully and classy does a lot for your life in ways that you really can't even imagine. And that's what I want to share with all of you today. In a nutshell, being classy is really all about making people around you feel comfortable, valued, and appreciated. When they feel that way, they give that back to you. Let's get started.
Last year I thought about
First, dressing appropriately for the crowd. During the holiday seasons especially, we have a myriad of different parties. Some are for our own work, some are with our spouses, and some are just fun and with friends. Each particular occasion is going to warrant tweaking your wardrobe just a little bit so that you're appropriate for the occasion. Classy women know how to dress appropriately. A cute little bikini might be perfectly fine on the beach in Hawaii, but if you walked into work that way, it'd be a whole different story. That's just being extreme to illustrate a point. You get the idea. Let's talk office party or some sort of a business-related cocktail party. For these occasions, it's really important that you go a bit more conservative than you would, say, if you're just out with your friends. This is key. And you might be thinking, okay, great, so what does that mean? Like, what really do I wear? Let me give you a personal example. Oliver and I are going to a business holiday party for him that I know is exclusively all lawyers and physicians. It's a big fancy party with a band, cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, servers, valet, the whole 9 yards. So obviously it's going to be a party, but I still want to make sure that I'm dressed appropriately because it is all business constituents. That means I need to artfully straddle the bar between, okay, poor choice of words. I need to artfully balance between looking holiday and festive and glamorous and looking appropriately for the situation. Something like what I'm wearing would be completely appropriate. It's holiday, it's festive, but it still looks tasteful. If it was the same party with a bunch of friends, I'd have a little more leeway. 2 pro tips that you have to have for the holiday season, you guys, and I wanted to show you this. I use these all the time. Nipple covers, very important, especially if you're wearing something like this where you're not necessarily wearing a bra. These are the best that I found. I get them on Amazon. I will, oops, lost my boobs. I'll put the links for you below. They are silicone, peel off the back. I just got a new pair of them. They made them childproof. Peel off the back. They're very thin, very seamless. They're silicone gel, and you're gonna press the circle against your nipple and push your nipple in so you don't have headlights. And then you simply smooth it all around the area. It gives a nice, seamless look to anything that you wear. You must have those. The second thing you absolutely must have, especially if you're wearing a dress like this, is double stick tape. This will save you wardrobe malfunctions. Here's the thing, you guys. All of the double stick tape that they've made for women, I find does not work very well. This is for men for toupees. It is double stick tape for toupees. So you know it's serious. You just pull the back off. I have to be very careful here. I don't want to get demonetized. Place it on your skin, wherever you'd like to keep your dress in place, and then just press it over. Now there's no wardrobe malfunctions. You want to be able to look classy, glamorous, and enjoy yourself without thinking that your boob's going to fall out at any minute. That's not really classy. I'm going to put a couple video links down below. I just did a video on glamorous, classy, holiday beauty, do's and don'ts, and a couple more videos on classier dressing. So you can delve into that a little bit more if you like. Opt for hands-free. There's nothing worse than trying to hold a handbag, a cocktail, and shake hands. It's just really awkward. You want to look seamless, comfortable, and graceful at a cocktail party. So choose your bag wisely. Something like this doesn't have a strap. So could you put it under your arm, hold your cocktail and shake hands? Yes, but it still looks awkward. I always opt for a little evening bag that has a thin shoulder chain. That way, Okay, well, I'm not looking graceful now. Cocktail, one hand to shake. Much more seamless. Honestly, you guys, looking graceful and seamless is all in the little details, and that's when it helps to kind of know these things before you're going in. These are all things that I myself have had to learn. We didn't grow up this way, so when we started being able to go to kind of fancy things, I had to learn, so now I'm sharing with you. Fashionably late is rude. Don't be fashionably late. I don't know who got this idea. It looks like you're more interested in being seen as cool and who cares than it is on being respectful that somebody invited you to a party. People are on time to things that are important to them. If you have an 8 a.m. job interview, I'll bet you're there on time. Important meeting with your boss, I'll bet you're there on time. When you waltz in 30 minutes late to a party, it looks self-centered, it looks rude, and you're telling the hostess, I had better things to do, but listen, I'm here now, right? Not good. Lateness doesn't make you look cool. It kind of makes you look like an ass, and it's not a really classy thing to do. If a cocktail party starts at 5, I'm usually there 5:05, 5:07. I usually give a few minutes grace because having hosted things like this before myself, I always appreciate just a few minutes of breathing room. Side note, an open house is an exception to that. Open house simply means you're free to arrive at any time during a given time range. If it's the 5 to 9 o'clock open house, that means you can get there anytime after 5, but you need to leave by 9. Okay, y'all, time for a quick shout out. I'd like to give a shout out to my girl, Resourcefully Freda. Welcome, 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 Miss Freda. Thank you for being a part of the community. I really appreciate having you here. And if you would like a shout out, just subscribe to my channel, comment below. I have brand new videos on all things style, wellness, and beauty for women 40 and over every Tuesday and Friday. I would love to have you as part of the community. Bring a hostess gift. Yes, it's still a thing. It's classy, gracious, and you will stand out. It should not be anything big, and certainly not anything that is going to cause the hostess extra work. You wouldn't bring a bouquet of flowers in paper because what happens? The hostess now has to find a vase, fill it with water, arrange the flowers. That's causing her extra work. I usually err on the side of bringing a little 4-piece box of Seized chocolates in a pretty little gift bag with tissue paper, a nice little thank you card that says thank you for the invite, please enjoy. Put away your phone, mute it, and put it in your bag. You want to walk in confidently, ready to interact with everybody, and a smile on your face. Even if it feels really awkward at first, resist the temptation to whip out your phone. We've gotten so used to using our phone as a crutch in situations where we're uncomfortable or we feel like we don't know anybody, that it's kind of become second nature. And honestly, I have to catch myself too. Think about it this way. Imagine 2 women walk into a cocktail party. One of the women walks in calmly, comfortably, phone in the bag, looks around and starts interacting nicely with other guests. The other woman walks in, looks around, kind of stands in a corner and starts flipping through her phone, checking her Instagram, texting with her friends. Which one looks more confident and which one kind of looks like she probably shouldn't be there? Introducing yourself. Most people will say, hi, I'm Shelli. Okay, it's fine. It's common, but you are not common. Instead, just a little razzle-dazzle, please. Smile, extend your hand, give it a firm shake, introduce yourself with your full name and your connection to the hostess. Hi, I'm Shelli Pelly. Brandy and I take spin together at SoulCycle. That is the way to properly introduce yourself at a cocktail party. Giving your connection to the hostess also allows kind of a point of reference and perhaps a talking point with the person that you're talking to. Here's a personal observation. I've noticed that when most people introduce themselves or are being introduced to somebody, they tend to bow a little bit. I know they don't mean to, but it's just a little like, oh, nice to meet you, or a little bit of a leaning forward. What that communicates in my mind is a deference to the other person. People tend to do that when they feel uncomfortable, intimidated a little by the person that they're being introduced to. Now that I'm aware of this tendency, I make it an extra point not to break posture. I'm warm, I'm friendly, I put my hand out, I say it's a pleasure to meet you. I don't go, oh, it's nice to meet you. See the difference? Okay, is it a bit of a power play? Maybe. In my mind, he who bows first acknowledges that you're the alpha. Choose food, drink, but not both at the same time. And here's why. Cocktail parties, by their very nature, are usually stand-up events. Trying to balance food, a cocktail, and shake hands, it's awkward and it doesn't work. So then you're stuck trying to transfer food into one hand, your cocktail. Secondly, let's be honest, it's not very ladylike to sit there chomping on food, talking to somebody, being introduced. I know, you're gonna say, what am I supposed to do, starve? No, but come on, I mean, you get it, right? I always eat before I go to a cocktail party so that I am not starving. I always opt opt for a cocktail because I just think it's a little more glamorous, if I'm being honest. So I have my cocktail in my left hand, my bag is gracefully over my shoulder, and I have a free right hand to shake. Much more tasteful. If something looks like super delicious on the hors d'oeuvre table, I'll usually grab a friend and we'll walk over, grab a plate, a little bite to eat. We can put our drink down, have a little something to eat, finish, and then go back to the party with a cocktail. That's just the way I personally like to do it. How to hold your wine glass. Okay, any stemmed glass, you're gonna hold it toward the base between your thumb and forefinger, like this. I am not a wine connoisseur at all. My sister says my wine taste is very pedestrian. But the thought is to keep your hands away from the bowl so as not to interfere with the natural temperature of the wine. It's proper manners to assume that the wine has been properly chilled, or in the case of a red, that it has been allowed to breathe properly and brought to the right temperature. You don't want to do this. No, don't do this. No, thumb and forefinger toward the base, and then you're just gonna take a little sip. Ding, 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 ding. Second, I always make sure to wipe my lipstick off of the wine glass. Don't you think it looks gross? I think it looks gross. Quick little wipe with my cocktail napkin. Back to the party, guys. This is the most important one ever. If you do nothing on this entire list, I want you to do this. A 2-drink maximum. Do not throw rocks in your own path. I'm gonna say that again. Do not throw rocks in your own path. Listen, you could follow every classy guideline to the T. You're graceful, you're talking to people, you're seamless, and then you have a few too many. Game over. Nothing will take you from classy and respectable to trashy and in a whole nother bucket faster than getting drunk at a party. Think of a woman who you know, either in your personal life or maybe in the public eye, who you've always admired for her grace and her class. For me, I always think Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. In today's realm, I think Amal Clooney. Now, imagine you're at a party with that person and she is drunk as a skunk, wobbling on her heels, sloshing her wine around, laughing loudly, eyes half closed. Does your opinion of her change? Of course it does. Don't be that person. Aside from the fact that alcohol is aging, it contributes to weight gain, it F's up our sleep, contributes to bad, yucky skin, it squelches your motivation to be all that you can be. That does not mean that you can't have fun. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy yourself. All I'm saying is stick to a 2-drink maximum. You will thank me for it. A 2-drink maximum ensures that you stay composed, graceful, elegant, and create an impression that moves you forward in your life, not backwards. This really holds true throughout the year and for anything, but also if you're at a cocktail party or a holiday party with your significant other, look, people's significant others have a direct reflection on what other people think of your spouse at work. Your significant other wants to be proud of you, not embarrassed. If I showed up at business events with Oliver drunk as a skunk, not only would it not bode well for me, but it doesn't bode well for him, and I know he'd be embarrassed. I want people to say, have you met Oliver Pelly's wife? She's so nice and she's so amazing. I love her. Not, have you met Oliver Pelly's wife? I'm just saying. I went a little longer on this point, you guys, because I feel that it is so key to your success moving forward as a human being. Alcohol plays a really large role in all of our social situations, right? The first thing you think of when you go out with friends is, let's have a cocktail. You're invited to a party, somebody says, what can I get you to drink? I get it, but it's an area that you can control. There are a lot of things we can't control in life. This is one area that you can. And by the way, when you stick to a 2-drink maximum and nobody else is, watch how foolish other people look. You will thank me for it, I'm telling you. When it's time to leave the party, don't just leave without thanking the hostess. That's really, really rude. And yes, she will notice. Simply go up to her, give her a hug if it's your friend, say thank you so much. It was such a beautiful party. We have to be going now, but I really appreciate that you invited us, and then leave. The next day, it's always nice to give a little text if you know her, or certainly if you really want to go above board, a nice little handwritten thank you note. I know, like it's 1800, but I'm telling you, you will stand out. Just thanking her for the lovely evening, how beautiful her home looked, how delicious the food was. Pop it in the mail. That's always an extra level, and she'll appreciate it. And if this is all brand new to you guys, don't worry about it. I've got all sorts of great videos here on classy beauty, classy dressing, and little tips here and there to help you out. That's why I do what I do. Learning a lot of tips and tricks of things that are kind of expected when you go to fine luxury resorts, lavish parties, fine dining, all those sorts of things that are kind of a part of higher living. I really had to reach out and figure it out for myself. We didn't have YouTube back then, so I would buy etiquette books, I would read them, I would practice it when we would go out. I've made plenty mistakes, but I learned from them and then I tried better the next time. It's all about wanting the best for yourself and being the best version of you. Okay, y'all, if you have any questions, as always, I love hearing from you. Please be sure to comment below, and until a couple days from now, I'll see you later.
In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.